Hello, I'm Michael with Joto Imaging Supplies, and today we're showing you another dye sublimation tutorial video. This one's actually quite a bit different than our usual stuff and really interesting. We're going to be working with tumblers going from this to this. All right, so how we do that? Well, for one thing, we're going to be using an oven today. Sublimation ovens are quite a bit different than heat platens and do require a couple of extra steps, but do yield amazing results. So let's move over to the oven and take a look at what we have there. So this is an easy to use oven. This is the Craft Express, and this is a 25 liter. It also comes in a 40 liter for large sizing and for, you know, being able to do many at a time. This can actually do as many, I think, as 4 of these 20-ounce tumblers. I only recommend doing 3 at a time, frankly, but I think it can take 4. If you stack them, which I'm not sure is recommended, you could do more, but you know, you'll find the tolerances yourself with your oven. But as I said, 3 at a time is still excellent. And wow, is this thing easy to use. It has a top element and a lower element, and you're able to set those elements with these 2 knobs here, 5 degrees per turn, right? And it's very simple. Also, this is your time. Again, setting a minute at a time. Little turns will get you what you're looking for. And then when you're happy, you say go, and away she goes, getting to your temperature that you want. Then when it's at the temperature that you want, it'll start to beep at us. It may even beep at us before I'm ready. Let's wait and see. Back to the prep steps. So what you're going to need for this, let's start again. What you're going to need for this is, of course, your 20-ounce tumbler, your image, which you should size a little larger than what it takes to wrap all the way around, have a little bit of bleed at the top and bottom. You will also need a sleeve. This is how we get our pressure, and I'll show you how that works in a minute. And a heat gun. You'll be using the heat gun to apply the sleeve, which is how we get our pressure. As I said, I'll show you how that all works in just a moment. Eventually, you'll end up with something that looks pretty similar to this, and that goes in the oven for 320 top and bottom, 6 minutes. If you're going to do multiples, you do want to add a little bit more time. If you're only doing 2, it probably won't make a difference, but if you start getting into many more at a time, you're going to want to bump the temperature up, or rather the time up, by about 30 seconds per addition. We'll show you that in just a moment as soon as our oven is ready. But in the meantime, let's get back to the preparation steps. So we definitely don't need that, and we definitely don't need that. Don't put the plastic in the oven, it will melt. All right, so we take our image. I need my glasses for this. We take our image. We cut it down so that none of the white is showing around the edges, because that's only going to get in our way of understanding. Remember, we can't see what we're doing on this side, so that's why we cut to the best size we possibly can before we begin. We definitely want a little bit of our trim to come above the top. Not much, but a little bit. And we also want a nice solid line around the bottom. So we hopefully have created our sizing image and cut to that. I always, by the way, make my image a little too big on the wraparound. We don't want a lot of overlap. So what I'm going to do now is individually measure it out after I've cut everything else. Individually measure it out. Take a look at how much I need. Take a pair of scissors and get in there so I can reduce the wraparound as much as possible. I could probably do a little more than that, but I want to be thoughtful not to take too much, because that will ruin my whole piece. Ooh, that's pretty close. I'll probably use the first cut and have a tiny bit of wraparound. Better too much than too little. Too little will leave a white strip gap on your piece, which is considerably less desirable than a little bit of overlap. All right, so I find that. I go to my cutter. I strongly recommend that instead of one of these slide cutters, you get yourself one of those guillotines. We're working on getting one into the shop soon, but these will suffice. If I can just get there, that's where I want it. And I line that up with where I'm gonna cut. There goes my oven. Okay. Make sure it's all good and square. And now I've cut that off. Hey, listen, we're gonna throw this one in because it's gonna take 6 minutes, right? So let's throw this one in. Watch your fingers. Oh, Mike, you should wear gloves. And we'll see this in 6 minutes. And in the meantime, let's get back to the preparation of our next one. So once that cutting is done, we should be able to wrap it around, and yeah, just a tiny, tiny bit of overlap, which is exactly what we want. We'll line that up the best we can, making sure top and bottom, we've got a little bit of overhang, but not a lot. Okay, that's about right. Make sure that it's even because it will skew on you. And once you've got that all lined up and feel good about it, you go and you get yourself some tape. Now, this particular tape dispenser, well, you've seen me use it before if you've been seeing my other videos, but the reality is that it spits out really large pieces of tape, which for most of the things that I do, I don't like. I want smaller pieces. For a job like this tape dispenser is perfect. It cuts automatically, so all I need to do is twist and pull a piece off. I get a nice big piece of tape that allows me to, with one hand still holding this tumbler, I'm able to tape it up and line it up perfectly. Oh, there we go. I'm sure that with more practice I'd get considerably better and faster at this. But in fact, what you're witnessing is my first day using one of these ovens, and I am so pleased that I am certain to be getting one for myself very soon. All right, tape is all lined up, 3 strips. Don't worry about the tape. The tape is not going to interfere with the quality of your work. Layers of it might, but strips like that, doesn't matter how big they are. And bigger strips do ensure that you get better, firmer coverage on your piece. Now, do be thoughtful that this will slip inside your now cylinder, so you're gonna have to keep it lined up when you get to this next step. And what is our next step? It's this, right? Now, this is basically just a very thin piece of plastic that is designed to shrink wrap around our piece. Okay, so we slip our piece in there. We make sure that we're still on target. And then we take one of our big paper clips. This is an enormous kind of paper clip. And just so that we can handle it, right, we do that. Right, get it fairly snug. It's not important that it be perfectly snug, but it definitely is helpful if it is snug. And now we have a way to hold it while we take our heat gun and we begin to melt it to shape. Now, this is not hard. It does not require a great deal of skill, but you do want to try and keep flat, even coverage across it. So where you see wrinkles and stuff, you want to try and get those wrinkles out. You're looking at it and you're seeing, well, what about that part where you're clipped? Doesn't that interfere? Doesn't that give you a problem? The answer is no, it doesn't. Once I take that off, I can just get in there. Can you still see it? I get in there, melt that down, and lo and behold, that practically disappears as well. Wrinkles all disappearing. Right? If you get a little wrinkle like that, don't worry about it. That's still going to give you the pressure you're looking for. Try and get it out as much as you can and as smooth as you can. And now that is ready for the oven. We've still got another minute or so to see what this oven's going to spit out at us, so we'll see you then. All right, we've got 5 seconds left. 2, 1, that's our cue. You'll notice this time I am wearing gloves. That's because I want to handle this thing and it is hot. Even I, the glutton for punishment that I can sometimes be, will always wear gloves when handling these now. So you do want a pair of scissors, snip, snip, to get to the plastic, and you just rip that off the best you can. See how nicely that comes away? That's now garbage. The next step is getting at the paper. I may need a fingernail for that. Probably do need a fingernail for that. Come on. Oh, that's hot. I suppose you could let it cool, but I prefer to get to it while it's hot myself. Come on. I think I might get to it there. Yes. And off it comes. Oh, I'm liking the look of this. Yep, very nice. Well, I'm proud enough to reveal this to you. All right, where's my other glove? Because it is still hot. Okay, so, and particularly notice that seam there, or the lack really of one. Obviously, there's a transfer from the image one to the other. It's not a perfect passover. If you're really good in Photoshop, you can do work to make that so that that doesn't even exist. But, you know, that's what I would call acceptable. Nice image at the bottom. You take a look, it's a nice straight line at the bottom and comes right to the top, but doesn't come over. That's about exactly what it is you're looking to do. Now let's take a look at some of the mistakes that I made in my first attempt. So in my first attempt, well, the first thing you can see is you can definitely catch that line. That actually has a lot to do with the color transition from this light blue to the oranges and dark blues here, and is something that I may have to try and fix some of in Photoshop. But if I had done a tiny bit of overlap, particularly overlapping this side onto this side a tiny bit, it would probably look a little less seamless. As well, hey, look at that at the bottom. Can you see that? That's a tear in the paper when I was cutting the paper. One of the reasons why you want a guillotine rather than one of those slide cutters. The slide cutters will sometimes catch paper and tear it, and when you do get that, that's the sort of thing that you're also going to get on your final results. Is that passable? That'll be up to you, but it is unseemly to me. Otherwise, yeah, I think it came out pretty well. I certainly do love the depth of the color, but yeah, there are some minor mistakes in lining things up that you can really see the difference when it's done properly. Now, something to note about these 20-ounce tumblers, they come with a beautiful cap, which is quality. Take a look at this cap. It's not easy to just come off. It does remove, you know, with reasonable amount of strength. It's a hard plastic with a nice clip there to open and close. And it also comes with a straw so that the final product has this look like so. And guys, these are on sale right now. Buy 5, get 5 free. So you're never going to have a better time to buy and test out, hey, what could I do on a 20-ounce tumbler? Hey guys, if you like this kind of content and want to see more, please like and subscribe. And hey, in the comments, let us know, what would you like to see us test next? Equipment, blanks, any of the above, both at the same time, we're happy to do it. In fact, we're excited to do it. We'll see you again next time with Joto Imaging Supplies. I'm Michael. Take care.